Thank you for joining us and welcome to this edition of The Overtime, Northern Arizona's only sports show. I'm your host, Sam Oceans, and we have a packed show for you tonight with a lot of local sports action. And joining me is sports reporter Jasmine Flores. Jasmine, how are you doing?
Thanks, Sam. I'm doing great tonight and just ready to get the show on a roll.
All right, let's do it. Our first topic of the night is high school baseball, and for the Flagstaff Eagles and the Coconino Panthers, the season has begun on a good note as both teams have winning records through the first weeks of the season. Jasmine, what can we expect from the Panthers and the Eagles this season?
Well, Sam, the Coconino Panthers are 6-3 at this point. Earlier this week, these boys lost to Prescott Badgers 3-5, but right before that defeat, the Panthers defeated the Mojave Thunderbirds twice. A player to watch out for this season is sophomore center fielder Jake Plecas. Standing at 6'2", Plecas has 25 RBIs and an on-base percentage of .522. This sophomore is just one of the few impressive players on this team. Currently ranked 33rd in state with an overall record of 4-2. The Eagles are going to be just fine for the rest of the season. These boys went to Prescott in their most recent game and showed the Badgers how badly they wanted that W. Beating them just by 1 run, this team, just like the Coconino Panthers, is very senior dominated. But they do still have some very young, impressive talent, such as junior captain Drew Healy. Both these teams have won before, and they know how to get there. So I know they are going to impress their fans and prove their doubters wrong for the rest of the season.
Yeah, Jasmine, these teams are adjusting nicely to the new format this season. After last season, the AIA instituted a new format that created new divisions and new schedules. Rather than playing in sections, the teams now play for regional titles, and instead of random schedules, the teams play 2-game series with regional opponents. The new format has been beneficial for both the Eagles and the Panthers, as they have both swept regional opponents and have winning records. Staying on the diamond, the Coconino Panthers are off to a roaring start, as they have started the season a perfect 4-0. On top of all of that, the wins have come in regional play. Across town, the Eagles have clawed to a 3-4 record. How can these teams be successful, Jasmine?
During an invitational at the beginning of the season, the Coconino Panthers seemed a little shaky, having lost at an away game against Willow Canyon, but quickly things got back on track. And since then, it's been nothing but W's. Recently beating the Prescott Badgers, these Lady Panthers know how to stay on their feet. Led by senior captain Mary Tosi, who has been consistently driving in runs for this team, it's no secret this 4-year veteran is leading her team to victories. As for Flagstaff Eagles, this team most recently lost to the Mojave Thunderbirds 8-18, but right before that put together consecutive wins against the Lee William Volunteers, beating them 6-3 and then 19-9. This roster is dominated by underclassmen with only 3 seniors. The Eagles are expected to come back from these most recent losses, and with Coach Ruby Baca mentoring these ladies, they can be expected to bounce back better than ever.
These teams are both full of young talent that has a lot of untapped potential. However, the Coconino Panthers have been dominant, beating all of their opponents by an average of 2.5 runs. Jasmine mentioned Mary Tosi, but I want to talk about her sister Rachel, who has been the team's ace for the majority of her tenure. Not only does she have great command of her pitches, but her offense and defense are on point. As for the Eagles, I look for the team's 3 seniors to take charge and spark their play. So look out for Kasprzk, Camille Noble, and Jaci Tafoya. Let's swing on over to the courts where NAU tennis is in full swing. For the men, they have rebounded from a 5-5 start and have won 5 of their last 6. As for the women, they have won 3 of their last 5 to move to an 11-4 record. Jasmine, how can these teams keep up their momentum?
These men are making sure they stay undefeated at home. During their last matches, these Lumberjacks were on fire against Idaho State. These men came with power, winning doubles 6-3 and 6-1, beating them with a final score of 7-0. The day before that, beating Weber State with the final score of 4-3. And if you didn't know, NAU men's tennis remains the only undefeated team at home within the Big Sky Conference. Picking up their 10th win of the season wasn't easy, but these men remain focused, and an 11th is very possible, especially with undefeated sophomore pair of Tim Handel and Ruben Montano. All I'm saying is Nevada needs to bring their full swing to the match tomorrow. As for the women's, they have recently swept Eastern Washington with a final score of 7-0. Now going into these matches, these ladies were tied for first with both Montana and Idaho State with a record of 7-0 at home. But once the Eagles met NAU territory, it was over. These Lumberjacks went into singles 1-0 and just continue to dominate on every court in 2 sets. These ladies know what it takes to keep that momentum flowing and remain on top.
Yeah, both these teams are in the best form they've been in a long time. Jasmine mentioned the duo of Tim Handel and Ruben Montano. Some other Jacks to watch are senior Marta Lewandowska and Blanca Zave, who received all Big Sky honors last year and have continued their outstanding performances. Switching back to the Diamond, NAU baseball has had a rough start, going 1-5 in conference play and 7-11 overall. However, they have shown they can play extremely well as they have defeated Utah State, Boise State, and Weber State convincingly. What is the key for the Jacks, Jasmine?
As you know, a big chunk of the team are seniors, 9 out of 23 to be exact. The key for these Lumberjacks is to keep working hard each week as the season progresses. This weekend they play 3 games against UC San Diego and play 3 games next weekend against the University of Arizona. Both these series will be at home. These men are out to prove their doubters wrong by hopefully winning these next home series.
Yeah, Jasmine, and what's even more odd is that the 2 series you discussed are the only series where the Jacks play anywhere near Flagstaff. So it's crucial that they can defeat UC San Diego and Arizona with these next 2 weekends. Ideally, the Jacks want to sweep both series so they can recover from a slow start. The Jacks currently sit 5th in the Southern Pacific South Division. Look for players like David Pogue and David Lucia to step up their game, along with continued development of pitchers Tanner Bradford and Parker Maxwell. This team can be a very big threat. I am very excited for this home series, as I will have the call on KJAC Radio, the voice of the Lumberjack baseball.